This is One on One. Dr. Richard McCormick is the author of Raised at Rutgers and the former president of my alma mater, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Good to see you, Dick.
Thank you, Steve. It's good to be here.
I was surprised you actually wrote this book. By the way, before we go any further, we have the same publisher.
We do. That's right.
Yeah,
Rutgers University Press.
Why the book?
Why the book? I kind of figured all during my presidency I'd write a book about Rutgers. I grew up there. I have a long story to tell.
Grew up there. You got parents connected.
Yeah, I got parents. My dad and my mom both had their careers at Rutgers. I got to know the Rutgers campus as a kid while I tagged along with my dad. He was a history professor and later a dean. And I figured I had a story to tell, and I told it.
One of the biggest, the most interesting stories you tell in here, because when you got named, I thought, all right, McCormick knows Rutgers better than anyone else.
Well,
but
thank you.
It's such a political place.
Oh, boy.
And New Jersey's such a political state.
Oh, boy.
This is a real academic. Did we really, he's the right guy? And sure enough, you tell a story about a call you got, I believe, in 2002 from former Governor Jim McGreevey. You may have heard of him. You get a call. I think he's on a helicopter or something, and you get a call, and what happens?
He's flying over the state somewhere in a helicopter. I'm still in Seattle because I'm president of the University of Washington, but I'm within a few days of being named president of Rutgers. And for some reason, which I didn't fully understand then and don't now, Governor McGreevey was not happy about that appointment. I think it was because he anticipated correctly, as it turned out, that there was going to be a fight between Rutgers and himself over a plan presented by Dr. Roy Vagelos for reorganizing the research universities.
There was a so-called Vagelos Commission. He was the former head of Merck, and they set it up. And
that's right. It was a visionary plan.
Yes.
But it couldn't work in the form in which it was proposed. And the governor, I think, saw that but wasn't able or willing to back down. The good news is 10 years later, in 2012, a significant reorganization occurred in which all of UMDNJ came into Rutgers, virtually
University
all
of
of
Medicine
UMDNJ.
and Dentistry.
University of
But
Medicine
you got
and
the call
Dentistry.
from McGreevey, and is he raising his voice?
Well, I think so. He probably was. And you know, again...
What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, holy smokes, what have I signed up for here? This was a trial by fire inauguration to the tough, rough and tumble politics of New Jersey. You know, it doesn't have to be that rough. People's elbows don't have to be quite so sharp.
Yeah, but they were.
But they were.
Toughest
and they
part
are.
about being president of Rutgers.
Yeah, say again?
Toughest part about being president of Rutgers.
Well, it probably was. You know, the communications, and I probably wasn't as good as I should have been. I probably was maybe a little too academic, a little too on message when I should have been gregarious.
Back up, Dick. What does it mean to be too academic as the president of the state university?
No, you want the president to be academic, of course, and most presidents, including my successor, Bob Barchi, come out of an academic tradition. But sometimes you got to go off message. Sometimes you just got to shoot the breeze. And I probably wasn't as good at that as I should have been.
You should have been better schmoozer?
Yeah, that's probably it. You know, I went down to Trenton with a story to tell and a good story to tell, and I'm not a bad person at telling stories, but I was maybe a little focused and maybe caused governors and legislators to be ill at ease sometimes. But, you know, the results were very, very good. And the plan over which McGreevey and I disagreed, 2002, I think you said it was,
right,
came to fruition in 2012.
What were you most
Virtually
proud of?
all of UMDNJ is now part of Rutgers.
Sure.
The collaboration between the health sciences and all the other disciplines for the benefit of our students, but really for the benefit of New Jersey, has happened. And I couldn't be prouder of that.
Talk about the research benefits for the university, the state, and for the nation.
You know, first of all, there's tremendous research on medical problems going on at Robert Wood Johnson Medical School and the New Jersey College of Medicine in Newark. All of the most serious diseases, diabetes and Alzheimer's, that afflict humankind are getting good research done, HIV/AIDS in particular, getting good research done at Rutgers. From the point of view of the university, it means that faculty across a whole wide range of disciplines can collaborate, and our students are the beneficiaries. Citizens of New Jersey are also the beneficiaries too. You don't want your health science stuff, medicine and dentistry and public health, out there in another institution distant from arts and sciences, law, education, and the rest. And we worked on that for a decade. The plan that McGreevey and I were, jousting about didn't work out, but it was sufficiently visionary that a version of it later did. And New Jersey's the beneficiary.
Let me ask you this, Dick. In the book, you touch on the fact that, I mean, I'm a proud Rutgers alum. My graduate doctoral work out of there, proud.
I know.
And taught there for many years. And again, really proud of that connection. But too many of my colleagues who I grew up with grew up in New Jersey and went to other schools. No secret that we lose some of the best and the brightest.
Right.
You touch on that. Why do we do that, and what are we doing to improve?
Well, it's a long story. New Jersey
the short
has
version.
led the nation for years. Yeah, I won't give you the whole.
Okay.
It's a historic thing. We won't do the history. But New Jersey has led the nation for years in its export of 18-year-olds.
Right.
We are number one in support for K-12 education. They get a good education, and many of them then say goodbye, and they don't come back. They settle down, raise their families, do their business in wherever they went to school. Partly it's we're a small state. And going away to college often means crossing the Hudson River or the Delaware River. It's also, New Jersey came late to public higher education. You know, Rutgers was established in 1766. It didn't become the State University of New Jersey until 1956, 190 years later. And the tradition of growing up with the state, the university growing up with the state, like the Big Ten universities did.
Yep.
Michigan grew up with Michigan, Indiana. We didn't have that in New Jersey. And
Are we
it wasn't-
playing catch-up at Rutgers?
Sure, we're playing catch-up because we came late to the state university tradition. And it helps explain the challenges that presidents like me have faced in Trenton, but it also helps explain the brain drain of 18-year-olds that you asked me about. We are catching up, though. The entrance into the Big Ten is
Okay,
a good
Rutgers in the
example
Big
of that.
Ten, which you set the groundwork for,
We
it's
did.
happening now. As we do this in the fall of 2014, Rutgers is playing Michigan.
Playing Michigan.
Who would think that
And-
Rutgers is playing Michigan?
And we're favored by 3 points. They're going to be coming onto the field in the now enlarged Rutgers Stadium. It'll be full. Every seat will
But
be
that's
full.
football. How does that translate to keeping the best and the brightest at Rutgers,
Huge,
New Jerseyans
huge,
at Rutgers?
Huge. It attracts the attention of the state in a way that no other single thing could. I'd like to say the
Sports?
English department would attract 55,000 people, but it won't.
Sports?
Sports will. It's not as central to our academic mission as some other things like the health science advances I mentioned a moment ago, but it has the attention. It has the eyes on it every Saturday across the nation. People are watching Michigan play whomever, and this Saturday it happens to be Rutgers. That opens a window into the university for all kinds of great
Did you not
things
see that
going
at
on.
first?
I did see it. I did see it.
But so you were confident that this was the right thing to do academically for the university.
I was. As soon as Tim Pernetti became director of athletics in 2009, he and I glommed on to, we're getting into the Big Ten. Didn't happen for 3 years. And I was gone as president when the final decision was made, but the groundwork had been laid and the goals were clear.
Future bright for Rutgers?
Oh, really, it is. We've got the health science schools. We're in the Big Ten. We've significantly reorganized our New Brunswick campus, which makes Rutgers a lot easier to understand. $700 million a year coming in based on the excellence of our faculty's research. That's from the federal government and all other sources. This is a state university on the rise. It took a while to get to the position that we now occupy, but boy, we're there.
Raised at Rutgers. President's story, Richard McCormick, who's actually still teaching right there, right?
I am teaching my course on the history of political corruption in America right now.
Listen, Dick, it is an honor to have you. And from one Rutgers guy to another, we wish you nothing but the best on behalf of everyone in the world of public broadcasting.
Thank you, Steve.
Dick.
It's good to be here.
Thank you. Okay, stay right there. Stay right there.
Okay.
That was great?
Good. Very good. You think that went
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, the Russell Berry Foundation, the New Jersey Education Association, MD Advantage, activists in cooperation with the American Medicine Chest Challenge, TD Bank, and by PSE&G. Promotional support provided by Commerce Magazine and by New Jersey Monthly, the magazine of the Garden State, available at newsstands. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.